Hi, welcome.
Welcome. Oh, angle.
So, you are in India, and what is your feel about spirituality? Because you are witnessing a very historical incident when Ma Ashutoshamvari entered into Samadhi. So, what you learn about Samadhi, and what's your thoughts about Samadhi process?
So the thing is that I've come from London, from the UK, and
Yeah.
really know that much. I knew about Christianity because that's the main religion in the West. So I learned about that, Hinduism, and family. So I learned about bits of different religions. And the main thing that was clear to me is all religions say the same thing. Either whether it's very symbolic or not, it says the same. Because when I met Her Holiness, Ashutoshamvari ji, that she'd guided me and showed me what real Sanathan Dharma is, right? And from that, and understanding that there's 8 stages, right? You talk about the 8 stages, and the last stage is Samadhi. And the thing is that there are different types of Samadhi. There's Nirvikalp Samadhi, there is Nirbij Samadhi, there's Sarvakalp Samadhi, etc. There's a range of different Samadhis. And the thing is that the way Samadhis are different. Only an avatar, only an incarnate form of God can go into either Nirvikalp Samadhi or Nirbij Samadhi. No one else can. No one else can reach that state to that point. So the thing is that her whole Samadhi gone into Nirbij Samadhi. And the thing is that I was very lucky. I was a Sevada there. And there were other Sevada at that moment when Ma had gone into that state of Samadhi. So we'd witnessed it externally. And when we connected internally through Brahmagyan, we were very clear aware of what we were witnessing. That we weren't witnessing anything normal. It was a high, supreme, divine experience that doesn't happen anywhere else.
So many people are questioning this process. People are saying a saint from last 10 years he is in freezer, and how can she can uh, alive again? And is it possible? Is it really possible? So what you are thinking, because you are in Lucknow Anand Ashram and you are near the Ma Ashutoshamvari. She entered in Samadhi because you are there. So, what's your thought and your belief?
So my beliefs, my understanding of the situation is that the Supreme can do anything, right? We say God
Yeah.
is infinite. We say their incarnate forms, their avatars are infinite. So if they're infinite, they can do anything in any way, right? And the thing is about Samadhi, it is leaving this physical form, pulling yourself all the way up, right? And only Ma can do this. Only Ma can go into Nirvana Samadhi. And that's what she's done. Why? To bring Sri Ashutoshamvari. So Sri Ashutoshamvari went into Samadhi. But the thing I have a question on, the thing I don't understand, is if you have a Punan Satguru, the incarnate form of God, but a bit of Parmeshwar has gone into Samadhi. He hasn't given you guys any clear instructions. Haven't given this any clear instructions. And also, if he is the incarnate God, which we know he is, wouldn't he know the place where he was going to take Samadhi? Wouldn't he know the environmental conditions? Wouldn't he have picked the exact location where he wanted to go to Samadhi? Yes. So without guidance, without any written proof, video evidence, nothing of how to preserve Maharaji body, divine garb, how can you turn around and say that, well, we're going with guidance based off of old saints? What happened with saints before and what's happening now in this current time is different. So what I don't understand is how can you put your guru into a freezer without their agya? The other thing I don't understand is because I'm a biologist, right? I was a biologist before, and the science of of it, of hypothermia, of induced hypothermia and natural hypothermia, the main part of it is that you can be put in preservation, right? cryonics, they're doing a lot of. However, the main point is that the body has to be rewarmed for them to come back. So if Sashi Ashtos Manaji was going to come back from Samadhi and he'll come back, how is he going to come back from being freezer? That's what I don't understand.
So
Because they talk about this, don't actually have the evidence behind it. Because actual Adhyatam, is supreme spiritual science. The supreme spiritual
yeah.
science is so much higher than biology in this world. So the biology doesn't have the answers for it, but the supreme spiritual science has the answer for it. But the thing I don't understand is the organization that claims that they want their guru back, that claims that they want Sashi Ashutoshamvari back, are denying the opportunity for him to come back because they are denying Her Holiness Ashutoshamvari being able to have access to Sashi Ashutoshamari's body. Another thing I'd like to say as well is the fact of we are free to practice our religious beliefs, right? But the thing is that
Yeah.
why has she's had to go into Samadhi because Manaji being kept in those conditions, being kept in the freezer, and also people not being able to receive his darshan, right? Because
Yeah.
Guru gives 4 Seva, Sadhana, Guru darshan, and Satsang. Those 4 artists, one of them Guru darshan. So none of his disciples, none of his followers have had darshan, right? So the thing is that they've been denied that right. So it's going against those articles. It's going against the constitution. And the thing is that it's greatly affecting people's public health, people's mental health. So that's one of the reasons why Mars had to go into Samadhi. Because the thing is that all the people that want sexual humanity back are praying for it. And so that's why Her Holiness Mars has had to. She's listening to all of the children's prayers that want their faith of Bhumeshwar back.
So, how many years you are into a spiritual world? You, as a sannyasi, you are practicing the things, and what changes in your life you feel, and as a human being?
See, so my story is a very interesting one. It's a very lengthy one. So before I was
Okay.
born, Savshri Ashutosh had given the announcement that my Sevik is going to be born in London and her name is going to be Gabrielle. When I was born with all of the dharam, all of the religious symbols in my body. And it was said that there was a lot of divine light at the hospital when I was born. That is a miracle of
Yeah.
Savshri Ashutosh. He had given this Bhavishyavani, he'd given this prophecy that my Sevik, Gabrielle, will be born in London. So that's what happened. And from a very young age, I'd always go whenever I could to come to Bharat to receive Savshri Ashutosh Manaji. And for a long time, I asked for Brahm Gyan, right? That divine knowledge. And one time, Manaji had said to one of his Sivadar, one of the Sadhavis there, that if we give Gabrielle darshan now, she will know all of my secrets and tell everyone. Savshri Ashutosh Manaji's main secret was Ma. So when it did come time for me to receive that divine knowledge, to start my work as Guru Sevak, as God's servant, then it became very well aware of what Manaji's secret was. And that was who Her Holiness Ashutoshamvari really is. So I can go on for longer about the story of all the miracles, all the things Ashutoshamvari has said about me, about the mission, about Ma, etc. But the main thing is that Her Holiness Ashutoshamvari will wake up Manaji. And I'm very, very lucky that I get to be a servant.
Yeah. Hmm. So please, I'm moving to next question. So you are very young, and every young person has a aspiration, dreams, and some material desires. So you are in sannyas after in from many years. So being young as a human being, so What's about your dreams, desires, and material world?
See, so I was a biologist. I worked in a government department. I had those experiences. But the thing is that from that life, there was always things missing. Because the thing is that this human form has one goal. And what is that? To become one with God. So your soul always knows. And if you're being born and if you know that you have a higher role to play, if you know that you've got things to do that will be beneficial for all of humanity, because Sashi Ashutoshamari's mission and Holiness Master Samri's mission is Vishwa Shanti, world peace. So if I have some point of play, a part to play in that, then I can't really feel pure joy or happiness anywhere else. And the other thing that you mentioned about being young, so
Yeah,
these things. So when you meet a Buddha Sadguru, when you go to a mandir, etc., you will give flowers, right? Or mithai or sweets, etc. But you pick out the best, right? The most delicious looking ones. Even if you don't have that much money, you will put in so much effort. Why? Because it's going to God. It's going towards God's children, right? So we're putting so much effort into that. But the thing is that why wouldn't I give my prime years, my best years, into the service of the Almighty?
so people in India practicing spirituality in a big number. People are wearing the saffron color and living like a sannyasis in huge number. So you people are living in London. So is there some different situation or like same way people are practicing the spirituality in the way people in India doing?
So there's one thing I wanted to make clear. It's
Yeah,
this Bhagavad that's given by a Buddha Sadguru. Isn't just
yeah,
any.
yeah,
And at that time when our Bhagavantan happens, our Bindan happens. And our Bindan means that that life ends, reborn within this form and have this new life as being in service to a Buddha Sadguru. It's not just a piece of clothing. And this is what's happened throughout of all of Bharat and all of the world is that they've misconstrued what Bhagavad really is, right? It's a sense of we burn, we go through what we need to go through, we go through our changes, we learn, we develop, we have to go through. And the reason why kings used to do pranam to saints, to people that wore Bhagavad, that were actually sannyasis, is the tapasya that a sannyasi has to do. The thing is that people wearing, right? Then if you're not an actual sannyasi, then the meaning gets lost. The thing is that we took sannyas so that we could be of service, so that we can help humanity. This analogy: if there's 1,000 candles, they won't light themselves. However, if one of the candles is lit, then they can light the thousands. A Buddha Sadguru makes sannyasis. Her Holiness Master Shamariji is making Sabunta sannyasis that have never been seen before. And only a Buddha Sadguru can do this. Then the thing is that it's so that these sannyasis can go out in the world and show the way that there is a Buddha Sadguru. You can see God within yourself and you can have these divine experiences. So that's a part of sannyas. Sannyas, explaining it again, would be something we would have to talk about for hours, if not days and days and days. But the thing is that religion, as I mentioned earlier, all religions say the same thing. But to understand that, you need Brahmagyan. You need that divine knowledge. You need access to that consciousness to be able to understand this, right? I'll give you an example, something very small. In the Bible, it says God made man in his own image. Okay? God made man in his own image. People are like, well, everyone looks different. How can it be made in his own image? And plus, we also say that this shareer, this body, is nashvar, right? But the supreme Sarup, the supreme of God, is that divine light that cannot be seen with these two eyes, right? So God made man in his own image. There's another shlok that says, Atma Jyoti Swarup. That your soul is a Swarup of that Prakash. They're both saying the exact same thing. When God created man in his own image, it's talking about Atma, it's talking about the soul. It's not talking about this physical body. But the thing is that without Brahm Gyan, you would not pick that up. You would think externally. So all religions say the same thing. The thing is that with Sanatan Dharma, it's very, right? The Veds, the Veds, right? When Guru gives you Brahm Gyan, he gives you four Badarat, right? Each one of those Veds talks about one of these Badarat. The divine name of the divine light of God, holy water, and that divine music, the Anhadnad, talks about all four. In Sanatan Dharma, in the Hindu scriptures, it's very clear. And it also makes it very clear that you need a guru, a perfect master, who can connect you with the Supreme. But this time, at this end, before this new age, during this new age of Navyu, that how Holiness Ashutoshamvari is bringing, is the incarnate form of that God Brahm that have come. And they come in three swarups. Ashutoshamvari, Her Holiness Ashutoshamvari, Param Pujni Param Ashutoshamvari, and Param Pujni Param Vandane Sav Shri Baba Ashutoshamvari. Three swarups, but then one Shakti. But the
You
thing
are
is yes, the
you
thing
are describing things very beautifully. So I hope people are understanding well and enjoying. So you are in Lucknow, especially land of religion or spirituality. Uttar Pradesh is a land of spirituality because a huge number of people, Ganga is there. So you are there. So what you want to say to the other people? They are not practicing spirituality yet. They just wanted to know about this.
so the thing is that practicing and what I think I'm trying to explain is bhakti, right?
Yes.
They're not practicing. The thing is that actual true bhakti, actual true practice of religion without a perfect master isn't very clear. Because if you think about this again, worldly, right? So I'm from London. In Christianity, they have a mala, they have the rosary they call it, and they pray and they have the rosary. In Sanatan Dharma, you do mala japa, right? You
Yeah.
pray, same thing, same type of worship. But those religions are so different, right? The thing is that what real bhakti is, only a Purna Sadguru will tell you that this is how you worship. The thing is that if God cannot be seen with these two eyes, we need to see God's in internal form, right? Because in the Bhagavad Gita it says, "Jyotam api tab jyotish, tamsa parmuchite, jnanam gayam jnanagamyam, hirdi sarvasya vishtata." It talks about that universal form, that divine light, the light of all light that is within us, right? So we need to be able to see, need access to it. And when we have access, when we have a Purna Sadguru, because a Guru is a perfect master, they guide our way. They can show us what real bhakti is, what real practice is, because they teach us how to become internally, to internally connect to that supreme consciousness, not to get involved with this external world, right? So the thing is that real bhakti, real practice, first need to meet a Purna Sadguru. That's what every religion says. In the scriptures, it says the same thing. First, you must meet a perfect master. Then you must receive Brahman. When it has ranges of different names, Christianity, they call it baptism, right? Or initiation into different religions, etc. Every religion has its own word for it, right? But it's been misconstrued because it's been taken, it's gone so far away from the truth. The thing is that once you find the perfect master, they show you the light of God within yourself, right? Then you're able to connect, then you're able to properly work, right? How are we meant to properly worship the Supreme if we do not know them? If we have not seen them, how are we meant to worship them? Right? We can do all of these things that we think are great, right? And they are. A lot of these things that we do are great. Bath, puja, connecting, doing meditation. There's a range of different ways of practicing religion, and they all have their beauty within them. And the main thing is that a lot of these beauties within these practices of bhakti are a representation of what happens internally. When we do arti, there is a diya, right? There's a form of light, and we do it in a specific way. The arti is actually a pratik, is actually a symbolism of what happens internally when you have Brahmgyan and you sit on meditation. The thing is that all these things that we do as bhakti externally are a representation of what happens internally. The thing is that because our third eye, if our third eye has been open, there's a disconnect there. And because of that disconnect, we become very unstable in our life. Because everyone worships in some way. When we are really depressed or something's happened, even people that are atheists, they will believe in something, a higher power. In great need, they will pray, right? And they do these things because the soul knows what its role is, what its goal is. But we have been so distracted by this world that we've forgotten who we are. The main part of Brahmgyan, the main thing that Her Holiness Ashutoshamvari ji has said, that through Brahmgyan, you will know yourself. Because once you know yourself, then you can change. Then you can do things positively. There's a saying, right? Be the change you want to see in this world. And practically what I've seen throughout my life is you can't change anyone else. All you can do is change yourself. So if all you can do is change yourself and you can become pure and you can go towards the light, then that's one light that's shining among millions, and that can light those millions as well.
So, Sadhvi, it's very interesting discussion with you, and very thank you. You connect with us and talk to people, and I hope they enjoy this discussion and they uh, got to know about many things about spirituality, samadhi process, and this is a nice discussion. Thank
Yes,
you. Connect to
yes.